I'm live, baby. Um, this just came on. I'm on YouTube on my Xbox, by the way. And it was meant to be, and I heard it, and I was like, I gotta do something with this because it sounds amazing. All right, yo, let the world know what you're gonna do. Let the world know what you wanna be. Let everybody know who you are, cause you only know who you are, yo. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. Don't let anybody put you down, yo. Cause I'm fighting on your side. I'm fighting for you and everything you do, yo. I'm fighting for you, yo. I'm fighting all day, yo. Like a rodeo. I'm fighting for you like a rodeo. I'm fighting for you every day, yo. I'm fighting for you no matter what, though. I'm on your side and you know it's true, yeah. When I gave up on myself, I vowed to never give up again, but you know that's really hard. When I do what I gotta do, yo, I'm telling you, it's so hard not to give up on yourself and others at the same time. When you give up on yourself, you got to yourself to never give up on another lost soul in life, yo. I got a best friend. She is my best friend. She's everything to me. She's helped me through too. Look, I got a best friend. She's helped me through so much shit in my life that I can never repay her for all the things she's done. She's helped me from five suicide attempts, from five suicide attempts, from five suicide attempts. Yeah, she's helped me more than that though. She stopped me multiple times though. She stopped me more than five though. I'm sorry for everything that I've done. I'm sorry for the sadness, all the madness, all the pain in my life, yeah. I caused it to myself, yeah. I tell myself that all the time, yo. Cause it ain't true though. But I believe it cause it's told that so many times that everything is always my fault. But I never gave up. I just kept pushing through. No matter how much I knew what everything would cost when I was down and broke. I never knew what it was like to love somebody so much that I could give up my love for them and stop everything in my tracks, yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can stop dead in my tracks right now, but I don't want to do that. I can stop dead in my tracks, but why would I want to do that? Cause you know that I'm okay. You know that I'm doing just fine, and you know everything is alright. I'm gonna tell you it is. Oof, Freestyle Nation, about gang low. We got anything on this beat? Let's see what we got though. Um, every day I look out my window and I tell myself that I'm alright, even if I ain't alright. Even when I'm sad, or when I'm down, or when I'm depressed, suicidal, and all that shit. I tell myself that I'm alright to push through the day. I tell myself that I'm alright to get through the next day. Even if I'm not, I push through like it's hard. I push through like it's easy, and it ain't never been hard to push through and act like I'm so damn normal, yeah. Alright, but on another note, I felt like, you know, while I was live streaming, I talked, not just do the instrument podcasting or, whatever it is you want to call it. So, on the topic of sad music on the topic of depression, which is what I mainly focus on. Sometimes some like other stuff, but we are going to talk about an issue going on in this society and in this America that we live in, where people are depressed and suicidal, but everybody thinks that it's just to get attention. And the sad reality is, it's not. It's not just for attention. It's so that the people that are depressed, suicidal, know that some where they did end it all. And it's the sad anxiety, not so much suicidal thoughts that much anymore, but I deal with it. I've dealt with it since I was 5. The first time I got serious was in 2009, where I tried to smash my head through a wall because I was suicidal. And I'm 23 now. I was a child trying to hurt myself because my mother never cared for me. My birth mother, biological mother, never cared for me. Never was there for me, never gave a fuck about me. And it hurt. And my father wasn't really there for me either. He did care though. At least he tried to. My mother got arrested and I got taken out of my house and put into foster care. At the time, I was living in Connecticut, to be exact, New Britain, Connecticut. And I got sent down to Rhode Island to go live with my aunt. And she took care of me for a while, but I think she got tired of it. She started dating somebody, and after a while, fell in love with him. And he had a dog. The dog bit me in the hand, and she made a choice. I was the easiest choice in her life. She was the man that she was in love with, or her nephew. And well, it was like I was nothing. I got put into foster care again. I got sent to another house. And I was 6 or 7, maybe even younger than that. And I lived there. I didn't like it. I hated it. I remember hating it so much. I remember it being so horrible that I couldn't stand it no more. That the thought of being there was destroying me, was putting pain in my head, pain that shouldn't have been there. I didn't do what I was told. I hated it there. I wanted to leave. I wanted to just disappear. And then finally, it just caught up to me one day. And my foster mom was like, "You're out. You're gone." She dropped me off at a place called Casey Family Services. And I was still young at the time. I don't even think I was 9 yet. I wasn't even 9 years old. And I had already been through 3 foster homes, an abusive mother who got arrested, had her kid taken away from her after what she got arrested for. And then that was it. It was over. My life changed. I moved in with a foster mother named Barbara, and she was in her 60s, and she had been willing to take care of me. she had been willing to help me and possibly adopt me. But she was 60. She had a bunch of kids of her own. She had 12 kids, and all 12 kids had grandchildren. Most of them had two kids. Some of them had one. Some had three. And then I got put into adoption in Rhode Island. And from there, I found a family, a home, a place that I should have called home, but I didn't. Called it hell. You look at me and you go, well, why'd you call it hell? Well, because I didn't know what love was. What is love? When I was a kid, I thought love was when you let your kid do whatever they want, when they can just do whatever they want, not have to worry. But I was wrong. I was wrong. I was disobedient. I was, on occasion, aggressive towards myself. I fought with my adopted brother a lot. We both fought, sometimes over the stupidest things. When I was a kid, and I wasn't, and I had just turned 9 when I got adopted. I was a 9-year-old kid, and I stole from my family because when I was in foster care, that's what I saw happening. When I was at home with my biological mother, that's what was happening. That's what I was told was the right thing to do, but it wasn't. When I got adopted, I got put into a family of Christians. They weren't the perfect family, but they cared. They loved. They tried their hardest to make me better, to make me do better, to make me live a better life. It didn't work. It got to the point where I gave up on myself and I gave up on everything. I started banging my head, threatening to kill myself. I got taken for a visit to Bradley Hospital. 9 years old, the first time ever being there. And they sent me back home. I promised not to hurt myself. Years later, 2012, principal was telling my parents that I was skipping class because I was getting pulled out of class to go meet with a teacher for like studying and stuff like that to help me do better. Why? Because I had autism. It's called Asperger's. What I was diagnosed with. I'm a highly functional person though. I can do a lot of things, but to the school district I was special needs. I don't look it, I don't sound it, but I was. 2012 I got put in a group home. I felt like I was given up on again. The feeling that they didn't care made it worse. But I went to therapy while I was at it because I needed it. And I was in the group home and it was maybe I had a social worker while I was there at their fog and 2 months before I was supposed to get released and go home because I was doing so well. I was depressed and I was suicidal even worse. And the group home wasn't helping anymore. grabbed the belt, I wrapped it around my neck, and I tightened that. I slit my wrists and I cut myself to get rid of the pain that nobody cared, even when they did. I was sent to the hospital. I spent about 3 weeks there before getting put in a new group home because that was the only option. And I was there for about 4 months, and then I tried to commit suicide again. Same way as the first time with the belt around my neck. I hated it there. My roommate was aggressive and abusive. He tried to kill me multiple times. Well, didn't try, threaten to. He had an ankle bracelet on too. So, I never pressed charges though. That was nice. Then, in the hospital, I told them I refused to go back to the group home. My social worker came to meet me and she told me of this place called Harmony Hill for behavioral kids. I was a behavioral kid at the time. So I went there. I spent about a year and a half there. They told me that I'd be out in 6 months and I'd be gone. I could go on my own. But I didn't. I stayed for a year and a half, learning how to be a better me, learning how to do better in a place that was secure, in a place that I couldn't run away from my feelings, in a place that if I tried to, I'd be restrained, which really helped. I did so well there that I was let off earlier than I was supposed to. At first, they said 6 months, but the first month and a half there, I was restrained every day. They couldn't put me down. It was hard. Adrenaline pumping. Nobody could stop me. That was reality. So then they said I would be there for 3 years, most likely, until I turned 21. But I wasn't, because I learned that I was wrong. That I was wrong for once. So I told myself next time I would be right. I would do right. I would be good. And I did. I was, some people say, the favorite of the place. I was the best kid there. And then I moved out into the real world, into basically another group home, but it was for older kids until they turned 21 or older, I shall say, 21 and older. And the house got burned down about a year after being there almost. I was 18 when I got there. About a year after being there, the house got burned down. So they moved me to another house with one of the other kids that was in the house with me. And then I stayed there for a while until the program got shut down. By that time, I was almost 21, 2 years after being there, learning how to live life on my own with complete freedom to do what I wanted to do. It didn't always work out though. It wasn't always a good idea to have so much freedom after having no freedom. But I made do with what I had, and I lived life to the best of my abilities. Then I got into my own apartment with one of the staff that I was living with at the group home. and I lived with him and his mother. Why did you live with his mother, Will? Well, because we were living in the old group home. We had rented the apartment to the second floor out. Seemed like the best idea because I already knew the area. I wasn't moving too far. But 2 days after being there, the landlord shut the water and electricity off because she didn't pay the bills. She was owing over $500 in bills. My roommate at the time said he wasn't paying it, that she had to pay it, and then had an argument with her to the point where she said, "Get out." So we left. We moved out. Moved into his mom's basement, to be exact. I slept on a futon. Why? Because that was my bed. A couch. I went from living in a bedroom with a bed to having nothing, sleeping on the couch with a roommate whose mother hated me. Then he made his mom give me her room, and she slept on the couch. I didn't like that, so I ended up staying downstairs in the basement on the couch most of the time, anyways. It was like I was taking over her whole life. She hated it, and so did I. It got to the point where we finally got our own apartment. He finally found an apartment for us to live in. Or should I say, for me to live in. He didn't live in it. He was never there. So I had people come over. Friends. Always over. Smoked a shit ton of weed, drank liquor, ate food, did all that. Watched TV, played video games, did all that. He was never there when he came over. They were gone. His bedroom was like a storage closet for his stuff that he just kept there. Then it came time to move out, and I moved in with my new roommate, who I'm living with now. He was basically the group home coordinator at my last group home that I was in. He was the most helpful, somewhat funny, kind of stupid, but I moved in with him. I've been here since last January, so I've been here a year, almost. Now I think of it, probably a year, and I've been doing a lot better. Some might say great, some might say the same, but that's not what matters. It's all about how you live your life, one step at a time. That's all it is one step at a time. Because that's all you really need is one step. Because you can take one step forward, or you could take one step back. But if you take that step back, it's going to take you longer to get forward. It's like my adopted dad always tells me, because I still talk to him, by the way. He's been very helpful in my life a lot lately. And he refers to life as a video game. And I believe it. He tells me that your life is like a video game. Each day is like a level. So, in my words, in my example, taking that step backwards is like restarting the level. When you've already gotten halfway through the level and you're about to reach that boss, but then you die. You're low health, you've ran out of healing potions, elixirs, whatever the case may be is, you've got one health out of 50. and you're about to get to that boss. But there's two ways to get there. There's the gold room, there's the golden door, or there's the diamond door. You got to make that decision whether you want to take that step forward or go back and restart. Going back and restarting isn't bad. People say going back is bad, but it's not. But going forward is also good. Taking that step forward and walking through that gold door, you find the boss. You also find an extra life when you walk through that door. Now you have to fight the boss. The boss battle, the biggest battle in that map. You got you've got 2 health now, and you defeat him. Now you move on to the next level, next stage in the game. But you've only started the game with 2 health now, instead of full health. You're still at 2 health, wandering around trying to find out where you're supposed to go. But as soon as somebody attacks you, you're down. But when you start back up, you're at the beginning of the level already. You haven't gone far and you're full health. But say you didn't take the gold door and you went to the diamond door. No health. You're still at 1 health. You go to fight the big monster and you die. You gotta start that whole level over again. But you've already beat the level to the monster. So you know how to get there. And maybe on your way the first time you found a couple of hidden things that you didn't know how to get to. So as you got farther on that level, you found out how to get to them, but you didn't want to go back to get them. Now you're at the beginning. Or you can find them health pods, or them potions, or whatever it is that you found the first time, and use them. And you can collect more ammo, weapons, swords, shields, armor, potions, whatever it is that you need to collect. Now you know how much you need to collect in order to beat the boss. Now you're entering that. Now you're entering the room. Same room you did before. Full health, shields, armor, swords, guns, ammo, potions. You got it all now. But before you went through that gold door, you only had 2 health and you had no ammo, no potions, no nothing, just your fists. But when you started over again, you had everything because you learned where it was. You learned how to get it. You took your time and effort. So going through that diamond door, was it worth it? People might say no. People might say yes. It all depends on what you really want to do in life. It all depends on what you really want in life. Do you want to take that step back to restart that whole day? Basically, well, not the whole day, but restart that whole scenario and make it better for yourself? Or do you want to just push forward and act like it was never there? And act like that never happened and move on? Well, that's all for today, guys. Um, that's it.